I hope everybody's doing well. I'm here on my normal days, so all day Monday and on Wednesday afternoon. So I have a hangout at the bottom of my address. So if you want to pop in for chat, I've been helping people online with CVs and stuff, so just in the normal way. So do feel free to contact me. Okay, so let's go into presentation mode. So do let me know if you can't see my screen. It's important. Okay. So can you just let me know? Can you see this slideshow here? Make sure you can. If somebody wants to just, I can't see chat at the moment, but somebody just wants to unmute and let me know. Sorry, that should be better audio-wise. So if you can hear me now, so if you can everybody see the slides? So maybe you can just quickly, if somebody can come on their mic and just let me know if you can see the slides. Can you see, guys, if somebody just wants to come on the audio, just turn on your mic and let me know that you can see the slides just before I start. Okay, let's see. Go back in. Okay. All right. Great. Present. Share. Great. Oh, so here we go from the beginning. Cover letters, some networking, and yeah, as I said, feel free to contact me about any of the above on my usual office hours all day Monday and Wednesday afternoons. So cover letters. Okay, so the main point in a cover letter is really to put across that you have the skills that are required for the job. So when I talk about skills, it doesn't necessarily have to be work experience. It could be your project work in class. It could be previous work experience. Also think of the soft skills. A lot of jobs look for customer service skills, communication skills, innovation skills, adaptability skills. So you can use any examples for those. You could use class examples. You can use work-related examples that don't have to be in your discipline. So really, that's one point you're trying to get across, the point of that you have the skills and qualities to do the job. The other main thing is that why do you want to work for the company? So that's the why we send a cover letter. A lot of companies, and when I say cover letter, I mean cover note as well. So sometimes on some forums, if you're applying on LinkedIn, if you're applying through a jobs website, you often see a little box that comes up saying cover note, and that's your cover letter. So what I would say is just that be really careful that you, when you're doing that you are spell checking it, that you're checking to see that it's correctly spelled, and that you're keeping a copy of it, so that you're keeping a copy of it for your records of what you said. So the big thing, and when I'm correcting cover letters for you guys, what I notice is this is the piece that you struggle with, okay? So you've told me that you have the skills to match the job, and of course you're using the template that I've put up on Moodle, so it breaks it all down. But the paragraph that you seem to struggle most with is why you want to work for this company. So you really need to prove at this point that you have researched the company. This is a big key point of the cover letter. You're giving a synopsis, okay, and you're adding information that's not necessarily in your CV. So one of the pieces of information you're adding here is that you'd really like to work for this company. So you can't say that in your CV. You can say you've got the right skills, but you can't say, I want to work for this company. So places to look for this kind of information. A great place, of course, is LinkedIn. You can go to LinkedIn and follow companies. And by doing that, you can see what are they posting about themselves this week. What are they posting about themselves in the last month? And is there anything in there that you can connect to? Have they run an event? Have they run something charitable that maybe appeals to a charity you support? Have they done anything regarding diversity or sustainability or gender rights? Have they launched new products that you might be particularly interested in? So there has to be an authenticity around this, a genuineness. So it takes a little bit of time. So saying generic sentences like, oh, I really want to work for you because you're a major IT company or you're a major player in the financial world, that's not enough. That's generic and it means nothing. So you have to dig deeper. So I would suggest using LinkedIn as your first port of call because you can see what people are posting about the company. So you can see something that's very relevant and very current immediately. So for example, here, do your values match the company values? So first of all, you have to know what the company values are, and you should know that anyway because you should be trying to reword your CV to match the company values, or maybe using some of the terminology they're using. So you might use some keywords. You know, some companies use things like customer centric. So you might want to include that kind of a word into your CV or cover letter. So you're really getting a sense of what their values are like, which you can research, and how can you incorporate that into your cover letter. What awards have they won recently? This could be another reason you want to work there. Maybe they've won one of the best places to work in Ireland. Maybe they've won a sustainability award. Maybe they're particularly green. Maybe they're big advocates of a charity you support. Maybe they're a front runner in kind of service or product or that you're very interested in, that you use a lot. So there has to be, as I said, some authenticity around the reasons you say you want to work for the company. So discuss the company products and services you like. So again, think about that. What products and services do you like that they produce, and why? What are the reasons that you like those? Some other parts in a cover letter that are important maybe or could be, I'm willing to work shift work. You have your own transport. Now this might be relevant or not relevant. If the company requires you do some shift work and it's outside of Dublin, then how are you going to, get there? So it might be important to say you have your own transport because maybe the shift starts at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. So again, some things to consider. If you've done a health and safety course, it can always be, or first aid, because people are always looking for first aid officers. So again, it just might give you that little bit of an advantage or added edge over another candidate. So really, the point of a cover letter is always to try and sell your skills even more, saying why you want to work for some extra information that you haven't already put in your CV. So here's just an room to cover those areas. Indeed, there's a message optional again. So if you don't choose the optional, if you decide not to, then it's kind of a disservice to yourself because it may be the thing that gives you the added advantage over somebody else. The thing here is why you want to work for that particular company. Here's an example of a cover letter, and it's just showing you the level of competitiveness that's out there. This is a cover letter that was done for Google. So they took the Google font, they took the Google colors, and they created a cover letter very much in the style. They looked at the culture, they looked at the font, the imaging. It's quite creative, reasons for writing, introducing themselves. So You know, that's just an example of the lens people are going to go to make themselves stand out of the pile when you're applying for jobs. So if you want to have a look at some cover letters, you're going into Moodle to career advice, and you have my cover letters here. I'm just going to come out of this for a second. Hopefully you can see this. If I go into, I just want to open a cover letter that I might have here. And so we have the sample cover letter there. It's also on Moodle. So again, let me just make this Moodle to download. So hopefully you can see this. If I just where we're recording, and there we go. So we log in. Okay. Can you hear me now? Yeah, okay. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. I got kicked out. Okay, let's go back into present. Okay. All right. So did you get as far as just showing you the CV template on Moodle? So let's have a look. Okay, so we're in Moodle now. Great. So click to enter the course. And there we have. So we've got the cover letter template there. That's the one I've just opened. So we're going to have a look. Online learning sites, the ITCV, the business, you'll just see a section on online career skills workshop. So okay, so just back to the cover letter. Hope you can see it. First paragraph, the opening. Where did you see the advertisement? Sometimes I'd even say hyperlink to it. Second paragraph, I believe I have the relevant skills and qualities required to excel in this role. So off you go with that. And there's some notes here. And the most important paragraph, which is the hard one, In addition to what I can offer you as a potential candidate, your company appeals to me for a number of reasons. And this is where you're researching, and it has to be authentic. And it's really important you put it in. It's probably the most important part of the cover letter. And then the final signature, I'm available for interview at any time. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, so you can find all the resources there from my career advice section. So do have a look. There's lots of good advice there. So networking is the other thing I just wanted to go through with you today. I'm afraid of networking. What is networking? Because they're both interlinked. And it's good for me, like one of these green smoothies, but do we really want to drink it? Maybe not every morning, okay? So, but before I go on to networking, has anybody got any questions on the cover letters? I just want to just check that first. Now's okay. So any questions on the cover letters, guys? So you know where to find them. Do practice this. You know, you can have a template set up, but you can't use it over and over again because you're not referring to the exact qualities and skills that are in every single job. So it's fine to have a sample cover letter, but you do need to review it each time and change it, saying specifically the skills and qualities that are required for that particular job. And also you need to look at the company and be authentic and look at a bit of the language. And it's great. It's going to help you for the interview anyway. So start your research at that point. Okay, let's move on to networking. Okay, the lovely networking. So don't be afraid of networking. Networking is having a chat with people. Now, some of you are working, some of you are at home at the moment. I would suggest that you start thinking about networking. Join some of the, I'm always telling people to join meetup groups in your discipline. Now, there are a lot of seminars running virtually online. So again, you're going to join online. So you network, you have a chat with the people at the webinar or the sessions that are running online. So you can still do some networking right now from home, even if you're not leaving your apartment. And networking is a sentence. People get very, you know, oh, do I need a business card? There's you know, very professional networking where you go to networking events and you have your business cards, and they can be very useful, of course. But networking in the sense, in the context I mean, is just telling people that you're looking for a job. So you're not asking people for a job, you're telling them. So say you have a bunch of regular customers that you see every morning. Okay, say you work in a coffee shop, for example. You have your regular customers coming in every morning, and you like them, they like you. You have a bit of a chit chat. How you doing this morning? So one of these days you're going to say, do you know I'm a business student and I'm doing my degree and I'm qualifying. I'm finishing in May this year, and I would really like to focus on accountancy. That's the area I'm really interested in. I'm, you know, doing really well in those modules. Do you know anybody in that area that I could talk to? Okay, so whatever the area is that you want to be working in, I'm working in IT. I really want to be a software developer, which is programming. Do you know anybody I could have a chat to about that? You know, how they got into the role. So that's networking. And I know it's hard when you start first, but I'm telling you for absolute sure, students have gotten jobs out of this. They've met their regular customers. Their customers have been really helpful, have networked, have got them, because all of your customers, they have brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, boyfriends, girlfriends. They have a huge network, and if they like you, they most certainly will try and help you, and they will try and think of somebody that you could talk to move you along in your career. So really do try that. 80%, would you believe, 80% of networking, of job hunting and getting jobs is through this networking, who you know. So you really need to expand that circle of people that you know. It's a planned activity, so you need to prepare what you're going to say. For example, that one little short sentence, hi, my name is Anne. Did you know, well, not my name is Anne because they'll know you. Hi, did you know I'm also doing a degree in, or I'm doing a HDip in, or I'm doing a night course in. I really love this area. Do you know anyone working in that that I could speak to? So you plan what you're going to say, and have a nice cup of coffee or something afterwards as a treat for doing the thing, because people find the networking really difficult. So force yourself to do it. And when the lockdown is all over and we're back in the real world in our new normal, go along to networking events, go along to meetup groups. And if you're too afraid or shy to go on your own, bring a friend, but decide to divide and conquer. So if you go to an event, go with a friend and say, right. And usually these evening events, they have beer, they have a glass of wine, whatever, So say, right, okay, you go one way, I'm going the other, and we're both going to talk to 3 people each, and then we'll go have a glass of wine. Okay? So you're setting yourself a challenge and you're forcing yourself to do the networking, and you will find it is very pleasurable and it's something that you're going to enjoy doing. But it can be difficult for people. Just think back, go back to this 80%. Think about that all the time. Who can you talk to every day that you can tell you're looking for a job in a specific area? So that profile piece on your CV is really the point. That's what you're trying to say in a nutshell. So you're not going to bore anybody. You're not going to keep anybody talking for 15 minutes. So they've forgotten the point. It's really, I'm studying this. I'm interested in this. Do you know anyone I could talk to? That's really it. So 3 or 4 sentences, and they will remember it because you've kept it short and to the point. So work on that elevator pitch. So you can start today. Why? Because it's really important. But look at this networking. I mean, some of you'll have friends that are working in different industries, and companies love to ask their employees, their good employees, hey, we need another programmer. Do you know anybody? Hey, we need another person in accounts. We need a HR assistant for the summer. Do you know we need a marketing intern? Do you know anybody? Because companies want to hire either from within, but they want to use proven people. So if you're a good employee of mine, you're going to be the first person I'm going to ask. Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody as good as you that we can bring in and we'll give them a go? And therefore, you are jumping the queue. So people, and just think about it from a cost perspective, the employer then doesn't have to pay for the advertising. So a lot of jobs are advertised internally before they go externally. Yeah, so do think about that. Which means that more and more of the available jobs are being filled invisibly. So think of the iceberg, a lot more of the iceberg is underwater than over water. So who can you contact? So just think all of these people, extended family, colleagues, friends, friends of friends, peers, customers you're in regular contact with, teammates, volunteers, people you know online. Even think about using your social media. What post something on Facebook. I know you might have lots of, a couple of hundred friends on Facebook or acquaintances, and you might get some funny comments back. But why not post, hey guys, I am, qualifying and finishing this year. I really want to work in fintech, finance, risk assessment, mobile app development, big data. Does anyone out there, do you guys know anyone in this area? Can you put me in touch with them? I'd love a chat. I'd love to see what they did to get where they are. So use your social media for job hunting is what I'm saying here, and for networking. So who is in your existing network? Friends, family, maybe they don't always inspire us. Are they energy vampires or energizers? And do they challenge you? So people in your network should challenge you, and they should be energizing. They should not be, it's all about them. So they shouldn't be leeches sucking the lifeblood out of you and not giving anything back in return. They should be people who energize you and also challenge you and kind of force you to take the next step, encourage you to. Where? Work from the outside in. So participate, volunteer, spend time, commit. So go to new things. So I know that's a bit difficult at the moment, so maybe try some new things online. Look up webinars, look up Eventbrite. An awful lot of things are online and virtual at the moment. There's Facebook has a lot of things going online at the moment. And meetups have a lot of stuff going online at the moment. When you're chatting to people, you do need to spend some time on unessential things like chatting and building relationships. And again, if you're in a team lead or a management position where you work currently, you'll notice that it's really important to spend some time chatting to people, just shooting the breeze, just asking people how they're doing, because they will tell you things. And sometimes vital information, just because you've got a rapport going with them. Commit to one networking event once a month. So you can still do this while we're all at home. Try the meetups, try the Eventbrite, try the seminars. Just give it a go. Practice that elevator pitch. See how you get on with it. Really, I love to bump into students who tell me that it worked. It worked. I got a job through, or I got a internship from just asking my regular customers. So really do give it a go. And then again, we'll be back to going to the career events when they start happening again, but there are some happening online, so I will advise you about all of that. Eventbrite, meetups. So develop your networking skills, external events, and internal events. Commit to one networking event a month. Remember people's names, send emails. They're the more the external. So the internal ones are where you're working already. Think about what's happening there, who you can speak to, who you can network with. Do your research, research on events and research on people you could talk to. You can also do that on LinkedIn, check companies you'd like to work for, try and connect with people that are doing the jobs you really want. Hi, my name is, I'm studying. I would love to do the job you're doing. I'd love to chat to you about how you got there if you have a minute. I'd love to set up a meetup or a Zoom call, just to have a conversation about that. I'm not saying it'll work every time, but it will work sometimes, and it's part of this whole networking process. So talking is the big thing. So do practice it. So if you are out there working, if you do have regular customers, start there and just keep it simple. Tell them what you're doing, what you'd like to work in, and do they know anyone you could talk to. Okay, so that's that. Let me just come out and make sure everybody's still there. Okay, so I'm just going to stop sharing. I just want to check in. Any questions, guys? Any questions on that? Hang on 2 seconds. Sorry about that. Okay, so just keep in touch. Feel free to pop in for a chat, which is via Hangouts on this very same Hangout address. I'm just going to stop the recording now. And, feel free to send me your CVs if you want them reviewed.